Hello, I'm Cavassier the goddamn Newt. Many have asked whether or not I saw indications of steroid use in the behavior of Jon Jones before UFC 214. The short answer is no, but I did have questions about some of his behaviors. A few incidents stuck out to me then, but I didn't take time to analyze them. I've decided to do a series of episodes breaking down the body language and psychology of Jon Jones. We'll examine in detail the poignant moments of his professional career and see what there is to know about this enigmatic athletic marvel.
Daniel, you're on a 4-fight win streak over some of the top competitors in the 205-pound division. Coming up in 1 week, what can the fans expect to see from you?
This is a live interview with Brian Stann during the Long Island card on Big Fox. Both Cormier and Jones portrayed a diverse cast of characters throughout the evolution of their shared drama. Jon Jones played the protagonist, the hero, the anti-hero, the villain, scumbag, coward, and scapegoat. He's been vilified, ostracized, and sanctified. He sat at God's right hand and wandered the desert, aimless and forsaken. Daniel Cormier played the patsy, the foil. He also ran an unsympathetic lout, holier than thou, a sanctimonious bully. He's been booed, belittled, and bemoaned as the false champion and self-deceiver. From the start of the interview, it appears one of them found a type of peace by acknowledging man's crudely deficient corporeal agency. Destiny shall have her say.
Well, a lot of times before, I would let it just it would drive me, Now it's whatever, I am the champion. It doesn't matter what Jon Jones says.
The other clings cocksure to his annexation of God's gifts.
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. In Daniel's heart, he knows he hasn't beaten me. If he really can go to sleep at night feeling like a champion, then, it's whatever.
But also, if ye shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. Matthew 21:21. Or this little chestnut embroidered in flesh, I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. 4:13, Paul's letter to the church at Philippi. Of the many times I've seen Jon Jones stripped to the waist, it never occurred to me just how odd the placement of his tattoo is. A Bible verse placed on your chest goes over your heart, unless that spot is already occupied by something of deep meaning in your life, like a portrait of your loving mother, or the Land of Lakes butter guy, or best of all, this subtle motif. And don't sleep on the badass dragon, always a classy touch. Jones placed the Bible verse as far from his heart as possible while still remaining on his chest. He can do all things through Christ. If taken as a heartfelt belief, Paul's words become an unction towards faith, an act of humble submission to the will of your Lord. Taken legalistically, all things through Christ becomes a cynical get-out-of-jail-free card for Jon, one he's used repeatedly and without reservation. Makes you wonder what he's holding in reserve for that empty spot above his heart. Nothing about his 4 to 7 children, or the lady he's called his fiancée for the past 8 years. Maybe he's waiting for the right time to unveil a new tattoo. Maybe a badass dragon. Snorting coke. Sandblasting hookers. While eluding police after a hit and run, with stacks of cash in one hand and a baggie full of dick pills in the other. I heard Darren Elkins has a guy for that.
You're a smart guy, Brian. You know why he's not the champion anymore.
Whoa, what's up with that shirt? It may look like Crazy Bob Cook's DC's new clothier. His buttoned-up look actually makes sense. Cormier is showing he's made proper preparations for the fight. He didn't take shortcuts. He is professional and ready, just waiting on the final piece of the puzzle. In this case, the tie. Metaphorically, he's waiting to win the fight against Jones and finally be able to move on. Jones is highly stressed. Before he says a word, he swallows hard several times. Lack of saliva production is an indication of acute stress and often extreme embarrassment. The involuntary hard swallow is among the strongest indicators of mendacity and obfuscation.
I am the champion. I'm going to remain the champion next weekend, and I can finally put this little chapter in a long storied career behind me.
This is an overtly pouty lower lip display. In children, this is universally associated with sulking or a sad disappointment. It's not commonly displayed in adulthood. When it is, the pout strongly indicates doubt or a petulant reaction to being accused or caught. Remember Bill Clinton's famous reaction to being caught? Yeah, pouty lip.
The same thing I've always done. Have fun, believe in who I am, what I can do, what I'm capable of. I believe this is my time, man. This is my era.
This is dispassionate portrayal. Another hard swallow.
Well, a lot of times before, I would let it just like, it would drive me, you know. Now it's whatever, you know.
Look at Cormier's expression when explaining how he felt before, what drove him. Lowered brow, display of canine teeth, angry creases between his eyes. This is animalistic rage and anger. That's what he felt when he thought of Jon Jones.
I am the champion. I'm going to remain the champion next weekend, and I can finally put this little chapter in a long storied career behind me.
Jones is pouting again. Asymmetrical eyebrow raise and lower, along with rhythmic nodding and closing his eyes. Jones doesn't want to deal with this. There's some kind of shame going on. Possibly because it's Brian Stan, a former teammate and stand-up guy, who's putting him on the spot to answer for what he's done wrong in the past.
You know, I didn't have to beat him to become champion because he beat himself.
And your reaction to what Daniel Cormier just said?
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. In Daniel's heart, he knows he hasn't beaten me.
Mouth gestures to relieve stress. Looking down and away, licking his lips, repeating a weak statement.
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all.
It does matter to Jon that DC holds the belt.
It's all I've cared about for 2.5 years. All this other does not matter, and I have no issue with him.
Cool.
More feigned indifference from Jon.
Cool.
Hiding eyes before and after he says cool.
Is there any chance, though, 1 week from today, that you guys end up earning each other's respect in the octagon and can squash this between you?
Clearly, Jon Jones will always leave a bad taste in his mouth. DC does everything short of spitting. No reaction from Jon. He is stone still, showing this portrayal. He's pretending to be cool about all this.
DC.
Cormier chides Jones like he's a kid.
Because there will always be issues, because he's a punk. You heard him. BC. He learned new language now or something. He can cuss in public. Good for you, Jon.
And Jones gives us the childish pout again. Jones isn't nodding. He's rhythmically rocking. This is to soothe himself, but it ain't working.
Best of luck in your last week. Enjoy, and we will see you in the octagon.
And boom, Jon tells us what all this stress and portrayal of indifference is about. He doesn't like it when people discuss the things he's done wrong.
See you in the octagon.
You hear him expel air as he gets up after holding his breath from the intense stress. What does Jones tell us with his nonverbals? Extremely high levels of stress that aren't related to the fight, for one. There seems to be some shame and sulking and a strong petulant reaction, possibly about the fear of being caught or accused. But of what? Now we would say PEDs. At the time I might have said responsibility. For sure his biggest issue is with being caught, not with what he's caught doing. Well, there you go. Breaking down some of the strange pre-UFC 214 behavior from Jon Jones. There's a lot here going on. What did you see? Should we look deeper? Leave a like and let me know. I believe there's a lot more to learn from Jon, and this USADA cloud isn't going anywhere. Next episode is Coove Me Anything, so if you have a question, ask away, either in this comment section or over on the Twitters. We can sail this pirate ship wherever we choose. If you're up to it, subscribe and take part. It's no damn fun holding yourself back all the time. And remember, this isn't supposed to be easy.